Well, hello everyone. I'm really excited about today's outing. Can you guess why? That's right. This is the first opportunity I've had to get out and detect with the new XP HF2, the high frequency coil. And probably like many of you, I have been reading about this coil. I've watched some of the early videos, but today is, for me, it's a learning day. But what I want to do is share some of the things that you'll want to do perhaps before you purchase the coil or after you get the coil to get this thing set up to maximize your learning and to get off to a fast start. Now I'm adding this coil to my range, to my selection of Deus 2 coils. You're going to see I already have two 9-inch coils, the 11-inch coil, the 11 by 13-inch coil, and those I purchased with my own money. Full disclosure, XP did send me this coil, but they also told me to share with you all, my honest opinions, my honest thoughts, and if you've watched my channel, you'll know that's exactly what I indeed am going to do. But as the title of this video said, first things first, there's a few things you're going to want to do to get this coil set up. All right, the first thing is, of course, you may know this, but to operate this coil, you need a Deus 2, either a remote, the full remote, or the WS6. And you will need to update to the firmware version software 3.0 or higher. All right, to begin with, you want to sit down on a computer. It can either be a desktop, laptop, computer, and visit xpmetaldetectors.com. You'll see some flags in the upper right-hand corner. Click on the one that's appropriate for your language. And then also look to the top here. I click on the section entitled Blog, and that takes you to a screen where you see a few different graphics associated with the 3.0 update. One is a news page. It talks about the different settings, the new settings associated with this software update. We'll talk more about that in a future video. The other actually takes you to a tutorial that will walk you step by step on the process that you'll need to do to update both your remote and your XP headphones. Also, in order to do the update, you need to create an account with the XP site. As of today, I have loaded on my remote the beta version 3.03. And if you've heard that term beta and you're not sure what that means, this is just a term that it's used in the software industry. It's meant to specify that this is an early version of the software. It's by no means the final release. It probably has a few bugs, and you will see a frequency of updates for beta versions that are, pretty rapid, pretty common. So you will need to update both your remote to version 3.0 or higher, as well as your XP headphones that you're using. Both of those need to be on the same version for that coil to work. Now, to update your remote, you're going to want to use the 3-pronged cable that came with your Deus 2. You'll plug one end of the computer and this end into your remote. You do not want to use this connection to update your headphones. Although it looks similar, there was a separate single cable that came with your Deus 2. The device looks the same, but this one transmits both power and data, and it will work for the update. All right, one item I wanted to also mention, if you have some custom programs that you're running currently, you will find that when you update, unfortunately, you lose all of those software programs. The good news is that any other coils that you've added, that you've paired, you will find that those remain in the software. So write down the settings for those programs so that you can resave them on the new version of the software. Also in this video, I want to talk about some of the specifications, some of the features, some of the things that are new with this coil. And let's go over some of those right now. There is so much here we can talk about. Of course, XP's delivering a new coil that is lightweight, that's wireless and waterproof, a coil that utilizes XP's wireless FMF technology. But this coil also comes with a new carbon fiber lower stem, a new charge system, and an even more powerful lithium battery. Most excited about is the promise that metal detecting with higher frequencies offers. I'm hoping that what is really going to set this HF2 apart from other coils is its frequency range. It operates between 9 and 120 kilohertz, and this just offers a tremendous amount of versatility in terms of detecting mid-conductive targets to those, small, elusive, high-conductive items. Its 9.5 by 5-inch elliptical shape isn't just about size, it's about access. Now, this coil can reach into tight, brush-covered areas. It can navigate between rows of stubble and weave through dense iron patches where those larger coils sometimes struggle. And I'm really hoping that what this does is excel at locating those fine targets that might otherwise be masked by iron or hidden in heavily mineralized soil. All right, I also have some exciting news. Believe it or not, this was actually the second coil that the XP team in France mailed to me. I would have had the first one a few weeks earlier, but unfortunately, we think it's lost in customs somewhere. We have a tracking number, but it's either sitting in Memphis, Tennessee, or sitting somewhere in France. But I talked with the XP team there, and we thought it might be nice if indeed I do receive it, which we think I will eventually. I'm going to collaborate with another influencer, and we're going to give that away to a lucky winner. So fingers crossed, stay tuned, and hopefully I'll have that first coil soon, and one of you will also be able to get this in your hands. There is currently a waiting list in the United States. If you are confident that you think you want to use this coil, you might want to get on a list now because there's a limited number of these available globally and they are in high demand. But in some future videos, here's what we have coming. We're going to do some tests on this. We're going to talk about the conditions where this coil does and maybe doesn't make sense. And there are some unique things about this coil. This is indeed a specialty coil. It's not an everyday coil that would, something that we would swing every day. But we're going to talk about the testing results. We're going to do some more live digs. We're going to talk about some of those conditions. And I already have a few pro tips I've learned from some other folks that I'm going to pass along to you, and you can decide if they make sense for you. So I think we're good to go, folks. I'm going to go ahead and give it a whirl. And again, if I find anything really exciting, I'll probably show that on another video. Today, I really just wanted to share some initial thoughts with you on the HF2 coil, things you're going to need to do to get up to speed, and things you're going to want to do before you lose any custom programs. So anyway, I hope that's helpful. I have several other videos in mind, planned and coming, so stay tuned. Okay, these guys are all here waiting to see what's underneath the coil right here. Of course, you have to be careful of the other treasures here on the ground. See that? Yeah. What do we have there? What is that? Shotgun shell, I think. Yeah, their head stamp. See that?